Good to see you, Jay here, FightHype.com. You're in Miami. You made that your home in recent years. So can you just tell us how this tough sparring's been going that you've been doing recently, and how you've been dealing with the hot weather over there?
Great to see you, Jay. I brought in two great sparring partners, and I've done about 130 rounds now already. We've got one more Big 12 round on Saturday, and that's it. We're done. We don't need no more sparring because we are ready. I brought in welterweights, guys that are strong, Philly short style, can move, can punch, got great fast hands as well, and they've given me fantastic work. We source these guys early in camp, and to have the best camp and the best sparring partners, you bring them in. You pay them their worth, and you get them in. So it's been a fantastic camp. They've given me great work, and I'm actually one of my main guys that I had, Arnold Gonzalez, being able to get him on the undercard as well, which is fantastic. It reminds me a lot of what I was doing with Pacquiao them years ago. So great camp, great sparring.
George, you labelled Teofimo a bit of a fraud, bit of a fake in recent weeks. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about that.
Look, his whole persona is just real tacky, real fake. He says one thing and then he goes and says the other thing. He might be a bit bipolar. He says he's from Brooklyn, but we all know he's from here. But then he's in Vegas now living. So there's just so many things, man. And you hear a lot of stories as well, from the media, from people that actually know him. He's just a fake kind of guy, fake kind of kid. And that persona, man, can only last for so long. Me, I'm real as it gets. You know me firsthand. How I talk to the media, how I present myself is the way, I am day-to-day life. I'm a cool cat, and, this is me, as real as it gets.
Obviously, you've made huge sacrifices, leaving the wife and kids. How have you dealt with that?
Look, it's always tough. It's a tough gig we go for as fighters. I see people say they don't want to leave because they don't want to miss out on bringing team members over to the US. Well, I leave my family, my kids, my whole life to leave no stone unturned, to make sure that I sacrifice everything to get everything. So it's always a tough gig, but, it always proves worth it. And I know if I don't do it and I don't come here to the big league and prepare with the best of the best, it just makes my job tougher and harder. So, it's the motivation. Being away from the kids, being away from the family is the motivation, but, it's all going to be worth it. All going to pay off come June 19th.
All right, thanks. Next up is Nick Noonan, FightHype.
Nick Noonan, FightHype.com. George, how are we?
Nick, I'm doing good, man. I love the shades.
Mate, I'll tell you what, it's great being on Zoom.
I tell you what, out of my page.
100%. Well, when you got Greek blood in you, mate, you have to obviously represent it to the fullest, mate. And I just want to say, Jerry, it's great doing these conference calls at the right time of the day in Australia, which is fantastic. Obviously, George, we do a lot of work through the night. George, I want to talk about the Lomachenko fight with you because I know we've spoken personally. How much have you taken out of that last fight against Lomachenko? Because there's a lot you can take out of it. You can't say Lomachenko's no bum. Not that you have, but how much can you take out of that and use that to the best of your ability come June 19th in Miami?
Look, a hell of a lot, because Lopez, the way he would have prepared for Lomachenko would be the best preparation of his life. I'm telling you now, his preparation for my fight will be nowhere near the way he prepared for Lomachenko. So I know that what I saw in that fight and the holes, and it's crazy. We just watched the fight again. The whole team sat down. Obviously, we've watched the fight throughout camp, but now we're getting to the back end the last 2 weeks, and we wanted to sit down again and have a look at it before training. And just more and more that I see it, it's just going to all come off. Every bit that we've put together, the game plan is going to work. It's going to land. All the shots will land. There's so many holes on this kid. It's incredible the hype that he's getting. And of course, you're going to get that when you beat half a Lomachenko. But, Lomachenko lost that fight himself. He didn't get beat. He lost that fight himself. This is going to be a whole different kettle of fish. I'm bigger. I'm faster. I punch way harder. I move very, very well. My stamina is incredible. And you know what? I got the iron heart, the iron will, and I want to win. I'm not content. I'm nowhere near content. I'm not a world champion yet. June 19th, I will be. But I'm far from content, and that's going to be the difference.
And also, George, Devin Haney versus Linares over the weekend. It was a big fight for obviously, people in America. And it was a worldwide fight. Some interesting facts come out of that. You know what I mean? Like Linares has been in there with Lomachenko. He dropped Lomachenko. A stat come out the other day where Devin Haney said, well, hang on a minute. You talk about this Lopez. Did Lopez ever drop Lomachenko? I want you to touch on that. Did you actually hear Devin Haney's comments around, they talk about Teofimo Lopez all the time, and Haney actually sort of shut it down very quickly when comparing Teofimo Lopez to obviously when he fought Lomachenko to when Linares fought him.
Yeah, look, obviously Devin Haney, he had a great win. I didn't watch the fight, but I did see the highlights. He did get caught, but, I ain't going to take away his win. Great win, and hopefully we can get it on when I take all these belts, and he can bring his belt as well, and we can have a mega fight. That's the kind of challenges I want. I want the best of the best. I'm not here to shear away from anybody. But 100%, they talk about Lopez as big power. He's knocking these guys out, but who's he knocking out? Yeah, he caught Comey with a good shot, but Lomachenko, a small guy, he didn't throw a punch in 6 rounds. Did he really hurt him? Was his face really that busted up? Nakatani, did he really hurt Nakatani? Yeah, he hurt these other guys that are C-level guys that didn't really want to be in the ring with him. But when you've got a young bull like myself that has been in there with big hitters, has felt different power, and going to take a shot and look at you and laugh and keep coming, that's when he's going to get fits. They might say he's got power, but like I said, I'm looking forward to try and test that power and see what it's about. And I'm looking forward to landing my own power and seeing how he reacts to my speed, explosive power, and everything I bring to the table.
Thanks, George.
Thank you, Nick. Other questions? Hey.
Yeah, last question for you, George. Just wondering where you see yourself in terms of the Australian boxing sort of scene. We like to call you the top dog here at FightHype. I was just wondering where you see yourself.
Come on, that's an easy question. Number one, obviously, pound for pound, the emperor. I'm no king because the king sits in Australia. He'll do his thing in his own land, but the emperor conquers many nations, and that's what I've been doing, from the US to the UK. From all these. Obviously, Australia conquered so many years ago. That's not even to be talked about. Now I'm here to fight supposedly their king. That's what a real fighter is. I'm the top dog, I'm the highest paid too. So, it feels good. It feels good. And when I come back as the undisputed champion, I'll make history. There's been no undisputed champion in Australia with every single belt.